back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode number 344. John and I are going to do what I'm really excited for, but I think that to be as excited as I am about this, you have to be part of a professional sales force. You have to be in movie production or something, because what we're going to do today is we're going to stop talking about theoretics, and we're going to give the people that are interested an actual template to follow should they want to do what would be called a hyper local neighborhood brand ambassador video, or a neighborhood tour video, to which you could literally just take the steps that we're going to follow inside this conversation. Now, we're going to do a little bit of role play. John is going to be a real estate agent, and I am going to be what is called a brand ambassador. Now, you don't need an actual brand ambassador. You can have anybody on the other end of the conversation with a camera, just like John and I are doing right now, where we can look at a neighborhood. And as an example, John, since you're the agent, what I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest that we use the Reno as an example. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go to Google Earth. I'm going to pull up Reno. I'm sharing my screen. So all of you can see, and we're going to run through this exercise. But before we do, in case there are one or two of you out there that don't actually know who we are, John, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure, folks. I'm the joint founder of mail-right.com. We make really fabulous websites for real estate agents utilizing WordPress. And then we give you a load of marketing tools and functionality to help you market yourself digitally to your local market. Over to you, Robert.
Cool. And my name is Robert Newman. I'm the founder of InboundREM. I am a longtime veteran of the real estate marketing industry, who's had the good fortune to work with a lot of really awesome agents. My resume is far more impressive than it deserves to be. So if you have any interest in figuring out who I am, just go to InboundREM.com. Without any further ado, we're going to get into this, except that you can no longer see me. Apparently, I've now paused or frozen, but that's okay, because we're just going to share my screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here's how we're going to do this. John is the agent. A brand ambassador would do something similar to this. My name is Robert Newman. I'm here with Jonathan Denwood. He is a 15-year veteran of the Reno real estate market. Over the years, he's sold 200 to 300 transactions, both on the buyers and sellers side. He's lived in this neighborhood himself for 10 to 15 years, and he has graciously agreed to share some of his knowledge about the specific neighborhoods in Reno. And before I just dive right into those, John, why don't you go ahead and just introduce yourself to the people that are going to be coming to this video as an informational resource.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Rob. And like I say, I've been an agent in the Reno, Sparks, Northern Nevada area for over 15 years. Obviously, I'm a native of Nevada. Only a slight joke, folks. But I'm originally from North London, Northeast London. I came here 15 years ago, loved the area, decided to stay here, and I've been serving. It's been my honor to serve all the people that have moved into the area or are looking to, or are native and looking to stay in the area when it came to buying their first or second or third home.
That's brilliant. Okay, well, that's good to know. And so I have a couple questions for you. The first one, though, and this isn't meant to be a curveball, John, but it is asked seriously. So, like, do you have a favorite part of Reno, a favorite subdivision, a favorite area, a favorite shopping mall, anything anything that really like tickles you a little bit more than the rest? And I know you probably love the entire city. You just said that you love the entire city, so I get that you love the entire area. But is there something that really stands out for you?
Yeah, I would say because it's where I live. I live on the south side of Reno, and I also really like the Washoe Valley, the area between South Reno and Carson City. The new highway has quietened the valley down quite a bit. If you're looking for a ranch, a small ranch, a small horse property, there's a lot of people in that area that love riding, are into horses. If you're looking, but you still want the convenience of a medium-sized city, it's just a great area, Rob.
Okay, so I'm on Google Earth right now, and I'm looking at the south side of the city. I've got the freeway above me, the 395, and it's dropping all the way through South Reno. There's something called South Central Reno. That's what I'm looking at. South Reno Baptist
Yeah,
Church. So is this the part of Reno that you're talking about? This whole
it's a bit
little like,
further on actually. You've got the Summit Mall. That's on
okay,
the edge of, and between the Summit Mall and Carson City, that's called the Washoe Valley.
okay. And that's your favorite. So Washoe City would be very close to it.
Yes, yes, that's right.
Okay.
It's
So
that valley, like I say, it's the valley between. And about 5 years ago, they built a major new highway that links Reno with Carson City. It goes round the edge of the valley. The old road is still there, and it used to go right through the heart of the valley, and it was very, very busy. But with the new highway, the old major road now has become very much quieter.
beautiful. So this is also a little bit of a loaded question. I don't mean it to be that way, but now that we were talking about, so um, you're talking about Reno. You're talking about the favorite thing about Reno now. Reno is a city for anybody that's never been there before, anybody that might be thinking of moving there after just a couple of like nice vacation trips. We always love to talk, think positively about the areas that we live in. But every once in a while, we're also thinking, God, I wish they would improve this, wish they would fix this, wish they would, make the airplanes at the Reno Tahoe International, stop them flying at 9 o'clock. Like, so if there were a couple of things that you could improve about Reno, what would they be for specifically aimed at maybe things that people would not know? Like you'd have to know these things based on being a local there.
Yeah, to be honest, I would say there are some very, very good schools, and in the higher education side, you got Reno University, which, if you look up, has got a very good reputation. Um, but also, Northern Nevada and especially Reno has had some problems with some of its schools. It is actively trying to improve the situation, and I honestly feel that they are grappling with the problem and they're getting some better results lately. The second thing is that the city centre, until about 5 years ago, was a little bit grotty. But the good news around there is there's been a lot of new investment in the Reno city centre, and a lot of apartments and regeneration has gone on, and the situation is a lot better, Robert.
Beautiful. Well, that is that is excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a pause out of the role play. Okay, we've done what I think is a great job. I would publish this if it was me. It's going a little long. We probably want to try to keep it to 4 or 5 minutes, but John and I are both long-winded, so that's the way videos between us end up. Because I would have a longer chat going on, I would move into a series of questions. Okay, I have about 8 questions that I've got published that John actually already has access to, and I'm creating a service around this. So all of the people that are here on the show are basically seeing what a professional marketer is putting together for some really, really top end clients. And you guys are all getting a chance to hear it live and understand where my thinking is at, like what would be a best service to people on YouTube trying to figure out information about a neighborhood, a building, or an entire geography. But I like hyper specific videos for lead generation. So I stay away from the top 10 things. Like, it's not that I couldn't do them. I could easily do them. It's just that they're so broad, they're unlikely to get you. They're going to get you traffic and interest, and that's great if you're building your channel, but they might not get you a lot of leads. So without any further ado, John, we're going to move on. The section that we're going to drop down to, if you're following along on the document, is the neighborhood possible questions depending on your area. For those of you who are going to check out our YouTube channel, I did share a Google Earth view. This could be very powerful in conjunction with somebody stepping you through specific neighborhoods on Google Earth. I'm not going to use it right now anymore because it's a little confusing for us when we're trying to do a podcast, but I did about 5 minutes of it. So I strongly recommend that you consider stepping somebody through either the neighborhoods or the global view on Google Earth, because it's a really fucking cool graphic. Sorry, John. It's a really cool graphic. You can see it's way better than a drone, in my opinion. It's far more unique, and it makes people feel present about the area that you're talking about. Okay? So, John, without any further ado, it's just going to continue on to be a role play.
So are we going to go for a break now, or? Sure.
Well, we're 12 minutes in, but sure, why not? Why not? Let's do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, do us both a favor. You're probably watching this on YouTube if you're watching it anywhere, or you're listening to it because you're already subscribed to our podcast stream. So if you're listening to this on a podcast service that allows you to give commentary or videos, like reviews, we would love one. And if you're not, then we're going to ask you to show us a little bit of love with the kind of content that we produce by sharing us with other agents that you think might be struggling with things related to their marketing. We generally do our very best to help you. Obviously, John and I are both small business owners who also promote our businesses simultaneously during the show, but we're making a genuine crack at trying to help you. And so if that is more important than the occasional couple minutes that we mentioned that we're business owners that might also be able to help you, then please share the show with other people that you know, other agents, maybe even other business owners. Who knows? We share a lot of good stuff on the show. All right. So no further ado, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode number 344 of the Mail Right Podcast, the real estate marketing show. We are in the midst of a role play talking about how you might specifically do what would be called a brand ambassador video or a buddy video or a virtual neighborhood tour video. And we're being very specific about it this time. You can record the whole process using Screencast-O-Matic. Google Earth is a good way to walk somebody through the neighborhood. And John and I are stepping you through the actual script. What would you specifically say? This is as detailed as we can get without you actually just simply going out and doing a video or two on your own. So without any further, and John, by the way, everybody, he is such a good sport because he just said, okay, sure, let's do that, Robert. And so here we are doing a video treatment, what would be called a video treatment in the movie world, which is where I live. Like, we're giving you basically an outline or a script on how to shoot video. In the movie world, they call this a treatment. All right, so the neighborhood, let's pick a neighborhood that you like in Reno, John.
Oh, God. You put me on the spot now because a neighborhood in Reno. Oh, God. Lakeside. Let's choose Lakeside.
Sure. Okay, Lakeside. Okay. So actually, I am going to go back to sharing my screen for a second here. And we're going to do Lakeside, Reno. All right, forgive me. For those of you who are just listening, all you can hear is the clackety clack 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 of a keyboard. But what we've got on the screen is we've got an aerial view from a satellite of the Lakeside Reno neighborhood. Okay, there's a little map. There's all sorts of really cool things. You can go deep, deep, deep down. Whoops, we can go deep, deep, deep down into. Hold on. There you go. We can go deep, deep, deep down into each detail of Lakeside. There's a golf course that you can easily see. You can see that most of the homes do not have swimming pools, but there is a big swimming pool that is available somewhere close by. There are tennis courts, so there appears to be a big recreation center right in the Lakeside area. There's a couple of huge buildings. So that's what we're seeing. When we drop all the way down, we can actually get a view that the home in the area, these homes are pretty incredible in terms of the size and the scope of the home. Okay, so we can kind of see it like that. Now, while you're viewing those homes and doing something similar to what I'm doing right now, kind of walking somebody through, like just walking down the neighborhood way, looking at these houses from an aerial view, you'd ask the following questions. Now I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So, John, I can see these homes from the air, and they look beautiful. They look big to me. Can you explain to me what kind of homes we would find in this neighborhood?
Yeah, you're looking at it's a mixed area. It does have some very nice apartment complexes. It's a more mature area of Reno. When you go into the northern side of Reno, that has expanded enormously, especially with Tesla in the northern side of Reno. That has expanded. But on the area we're talking about is a more mature area that was developed in the 60s, 70s, early 80s. It has a lot of very nice attached houses from 3 to 4 bedroom plus. Like I say, it's a more established area, has a lot of greenery, trees, mature trees. And it's just a pleasant area, but it hasn't got the feel of some of these cookie cutter gated communities, which personally don't appeal to me. It's a great place for families, and it's just really good. I just like it, Robert.
And from the air, like it looks like these are 3-car garages. These homes look to be 2,500, maybe 3,000 square feet. Is that correct?
Yeah, there are smaller houses there, but that is the type of property you're looking at.
Wow. Okay. And what kind of price range would we be looking at for this?
Well, you know, that's a tricky subject because we're in very interesting times. The prices, until about 3 months ago, the prices, we went through a period of very rapid acceleration in price. You're probably looking realistically, depending on the type of property, from $5 to $8 to $900,000. It's a very, I'm being very, because it is a diverse area. If you're looking for a house, obviously, if you're looking for an apartment, the prices are going to be a little bit lower, depending on size. But it is a diverse area, but it's one of the better class areas in another area is Arrow Creek. But I prefer Lakeside myself because, like I say, it's more of an established area.
Sure. Let's see here. All right. You're saying Lakeside, and Google is saying Lakeside Drive. Just so that we know. So I'm gonna find a neighborhood name so that we can. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a pause. We're breaking out of character. I'm just going to find a little bit of a name of the neighborhood so that I can give everybody an accurate understanding. It looks to be, if I had to guess, these homes in here range between 400,000 and 600,000. If I'm understanding the area that you're targeting. Let's see here, and that's a big if.
I'll share you this website resource with you, Rob.
They haven't done us any favors in Reno by breaking things into actual neighborhoods. They call these areas like they pretty much stick with cities and barely even that. Like it's like you can go down to Walmart if you want or whatever
Yes,
that
look
was.
in private chat. I've just put a link in private chat for you, Rob.
There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right. So like this. All right. So the link in private chat is ranging from 200,000 all the way up to 2 million. It looks like. So it's a very, very big range. There's obviously a huge difference in this range. The 1,100,000 is 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,512 square feet. That's to me, coming out of California, that's a heck of a property price. Now, I guess my next question for you would be: this looks high to me from what I saw the last time I looked at Reno. Do you have any understanding what the appreciation has been in Reno specifically? We know we've all read the news that appreciation has been 34% across the country over the last 2 years. Do you have any understanding of like what a home might have been selling for 5 or 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think you're looking between 35 and 40% in the last 2 years until the last 3 months. So I think the average house until 2 years ago was the mean average was 350,000. It's now 650,000.
Wow. Okay, that's a heck of an increase for any number of different reasons. I really appreciate you mentioning that that Tesla's moved out there. I know that they have a huge gigafactory, so you're confirming that that has changed the landscape in Reno a little bit, right?
We will soon find out.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
To be serious, to some extent, yes, but on the other hand, Reno and Northern Nevada is highly driven by the Californian market, because the reality is that not only Tesla, other tech or non-tech companies have moved to Reno over the past 5 to 6 years. That will stabilize the situation to some degree, but the reality is that it's still a lot of retirees drive the Northern Nevada market, and they sell their property in California and they move to Northern Nevada, Robert.
Got you. Well, so I'm gonna say, well, I'm gonna ask you a question. You may or may not know, John. I'm gonna ask you to make it up because the people that would be doing this would actually know. But who buys these homes? Families, executives, owners, celebrities? Your average person, young people, old people, retirees. Who in common buys homes in Lakeside Reno?
Well, like I say, like you've seen, it's a diverse area, which I personally like. But also it has some very nice parts to it. If you're looking at the detached house market, I would say it's families or retirees. The families are looking to go up. These are the people that are working for Tesla, but they tend to buy property in northern Reno because of the traffic situation. It's nothing compared to Southern California, but because of Tesla and the industrial park, which it is part of, the traffic can be a bit horrendous on the north side of Reno in rush hour. So it's probably unlikely that somebody that's working at Tesla or in the industrial estate is going to be living in this part of Reno. So it's people that have bought a smaller property in the area and that want to stay in the area because of the schools and that, but also a high degree of out-of-state purchase, retirees that like it's a mature area, safe area, and it offers amenities, and it's just a appealing area in Reno, Robert.
Perfect. Okay. And so I'm going to hit the pause on the role play, okay? Because some of these I want to describe. Everybody here should be getting a very, very, very tight understanding of what kind of video that we're talking about producing. This kind of video that features two people is very likely to generate leads, but I don't have the case studies to prove that. What I am propositioning to all of our listeners is a new type of video I haven't seen that much of as it relates to YouTube. And so you guys are all hearing it first. Now, it could be a bust, but it also could be a home run. And I personally think like it's going to be a home run. So here are some other questions that are on this sheet, okay, that I came up with. What are some questions that you get about these homes? What is the availability of listings like? Now, I feel like this is a real hot button question right now. When you are demoing a neighborhood, you should probably be clear that you're creating the video in 2022, because there's no doubt there will be a lot more inventory in 2023 and 2024. How motivated are sellers in this area? Okay, that's a question that you should always address. If they're not very motivated, then don't just say that. If they're very motivated for some reason, let's say there's gonna become some motivation in the market for sellers. Believe it or not, there's gonna start being some motivation. The offers are dying down. They want to keep the prices high. They're going to be a certain percentage of people will be desperate to keep the baked in home appreciation that they've got, sell it before prices drop, and you'll see some motivation coming out of those sellers. Schools, sites, local businesses to this neighborhood. What is it that you love? Like that is literally walking distance. When we're talking about a neighborhood like Lakewood, now, John, I'm going to ask you to drop back into role-playing mode. Do you know of any sites, local businesses or parks that are literally part of the Lakeside neighborhood that you like, or you like driving by, or you like the visuals of?
Yeah, I think I'm correct about this, but I'm going by my memory. Lakeside Athletic Club is well known. It's got squash courts, it's got a good gym facility, and I think it's got outside tennis facilities. There's some great green areas, some great park areas, some great cycling and walk trails in the area. And it's just really convenient to get into centre of Reno. As you know, you've got all the casinos, all the activities. You've got August hot summer days. There's all in the spring and summer months. There's every weekend. There's something going on in central Reno. It's just a really fun place to live if you're retired or if you have a family. Plus, you've got all the ability of, if you're into the outdoors, you've got bike trails, mountain biking, skiing in the winter. You've got the Truckee River, and you're an hour away from one of the most beautiful spots in the West Coast, and that's Lake Tahoe.
Okay. Well,
what more could you ask for, Robert?
You really couldn't. So the last remaining two questions are how and who are the local service providers, utilities, moving companies, appraisers. Now, our objective is usually to try to encapsulate some of this information in 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes when you're doing a video. So this is this is taking John and I way longer. So I'm feeling like you probably are going to encapsulate these videos, right? You're going to shorten them. Okay. Okay, so that's really what we got. We're at the very end of the show. I hope you appreciated our little back and forth, our little tour. I think you should have an understanding of how you would shoot this video. You use Screencast-O-Matic, use a local neighborhood, use Google Earth. You're going to have a business partner, a friend, your husband, your wife. Play the opposite end. Play your brand ambassador. It does not need to be an outside consultant. It can just be another person. The two of you can sit and you can just do basically a Q&A of the neighborhood together. It's like a partner video. There's not very many of them online. if it's featuring both of you and you're getting really good at asking questions and answering questions, I feel like there's a lot of space for this kind of video on YouTube, and I think it's unique. So I think that you would probably end up getting some traction off it. So without any further ado, we're going to wrap the show up. John is going to tell you how to reach out to him. You can tell he's a brilliant human to talk to, and I highly recommend that if you have some questions of your own about video, about YouTube, about websites.
Well, I think I need to forget about my present career and become a real estate professional. Maybe not in the next 6 months, but I should consider it, shouldn't I, Rob?
Well, you did a pretty goddamn good job, and with the prices that I'm looking at in Reno right now, it actually isn't that bad of an idea. All right.
Unfortunately, Rob, half the population thought that themselves and have become agents. Sorry. That was a bit of English humour. The way to contact me is through the website. Go to mel-wright.com. You can book a demo with me or Adam, or you can just book a conversation, and you're looking for some advice. I'll be more than happy to spend a bit of time with you and help you as much as I can. Over to you, Rob.
Okay. So if anybody would like to reach me, they may do so at InboundREM.com, and you can go to the contact form, and you can schedule an appointment with me if I'm still taking them. It just depends on when you listen to the show. But right now, through 2022, I should still be doing consultations. We really appreciate you listening to the show. It's always a great honor when you give us your time. It's the most valuable thing that you have. So hopefully we'll get you some value. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.